Look what we have here, the all-new 2025 Toyota 4Runner, 6th generation 4Runner. Now, I'll be the first to admit I have mixed feelings about this truck because I think it looks too much like the Tacoma, too much like the Tundra, too much like the Sequoia. I do appreciate that they kept the original 4Runner shape, but there are some things that I feel like are just too similar to the Toyota Tacoma and the Tundra. Now, they do have the front headlights just like the Tacoma, so it's DIY friendly, and you can replace those turn signal bulbs if you choose to or upgrade them at a later date. The 2025 TRD Off-Road 4Runner does come with power back doors, which I think it should if it's going to cost $57,000. Now, if we look in the back, as you can see, you have plenty of storage space for your family needs, which I think is a plus, but no third row seats. So if that's an option for you, it might be a deal breaker. The power back door strut, one of the things that I noticed is the connector is making its way down, and that's where it gets its power and ground from. Usually on the power back door struts, the connector is located inside of the back door assembly behind the trim panel. But I think they were making room for the power back door window motor to operate and lower the glass. As you can see, plenty of storage space. Now they have these shelf-like kind of storage. I don't think they're cup holders because there's no third row seat back there, but they have them there. Maybe you can store some of your extra stuff, which I think is a nice touch. Now, if we make our way towards the rear seats, pretty basic if you ask me. I think they should have had more controls, maybe rear AC control or some kind of feature to implement in a 4Runner. But for $57,000, I don't feel like the back seat is really that captivating. To me, it kind of looks plain, but I think they could have did more. But at least it's not narrow and you all squished in. I think adult passengers can get in there comfortably. On the rear doors, you will find this little JBL speaker mounted on the door. I do love the gloss finish they have around it. Now, I wish they would have implemented that gloss finish trim panels around the door itself. Maybe the door handle, maybe around the door handle area, the window switch at least. I think it would have been nice just to give it a nice contrast instead of a flat black inside. Like I said, for $57,000, you would expect a little bit more. Even that TRD wording right there, if it would have been a gloss finish, maybe a little bit more reflective, I just feel like the door panel is just too flat, and maybe a little bit more color combination would have did it nice. Now, as I go around the truck and I'm looking at the gaps around the body panels that's joined together and the doors, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. Being manufactured in Japan, as I looked around, the gaps are pretty symmetrical from one end to the other side and all around the truck. Overall, well put together. As we look inside of the interior, I think it looks absolutely amazing. But what's the only problem? Again, it looks too much like the Tacoma. If I show you a video right here, you wouldn't be able to tell if that's the inside of a 4Runner or if that's the inside of a Toyota Tacoma. That's my only problem with this. So if your wife wants to drive a 4Runner and you want to buy a Toyota Tacoma, you guys will pretty much have the similar interior, similar front end. That's my only problem with these new generation of trucks coming out. On the dome light assembly, you have the switch for your back door window and as well as the sunroof controls and your SOS button and the dome light on and off switch. And the back door window being able to go up and down is a nice feature for most, because with this 4Runner, those who like to go kayaking are able to put their boards in there, lower that window, and it sticks just enough out the window. But if the glass was not movable, then that wouldn't be possible. And here on the center dash, you have this nice JBL Bluetooth speaker that you can remove to listen to your favorite music. I'm not sure if much customers will find use for this, but for those who like to go camping and maybe sit by the beach in the back with their family, have a nice brunch date, this JBL speaker will come in handy. Now, one thing about it, it doesn't feel cheap at all. It has a nice build quality to it. It feels solid. I think it's a nice touch that they added in the 4Runner. Overall, the interior of the 4Runner is very nice, but what's the problem that I have? It looks just like the Tacoma. If Toyota could stop doing that, maybe put a little bit more creativity, make it look a little different, then I would give it an A+. Inside of the engine bay, we have a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about this as well. Will it be as reliable as the previous generation 4Runner? The good news is very DIY friendly. So changing out the spark plugs would not be a headache. Changing out the drive belt would be a piece of cake. As you can see, plenty of room to get to that tensioner. And look at these air fuel sensors. Easiest air fuel ratio sensors you will ever change in your life. Now underneath, it comes equipped with the Bilstein shocks, front and rear, aluminum steering knuckle. Now I gotta say the suspension and handling on these trucks is a big improvement from the previous generation. I know a lot of people have comments about the engine and the powertrain system, but Make no mistake about it, the suspension and handling is like no other. Main reason is it comes equipped with electric steering. No more hydraulic power steering system. Instead, electric steering gives you better control, better quality and handling. So I think that's a plus. And look at this right here. You got the petcock for the radiator drain. So if you want to change out your radiator coolant, that's where you will connect the hose, drain it out. On the other side, you have your oil filter. So again, very DIY friendly. If you want to do your own maintenance, this truck is a truck for you. Now, I don't like it when they make it too complicated. This is just perfect. Now, this I'm not a fan of. I think it should have been a TRD skid plate. This plastic, whatever material it is, I think they could have did a little bit more as far as the engine undercover. Now, as a technician, it's good for us. Now, we don't have this big shield to take down, but as a customer, you would want a little bit more for a $57,000 truck. Now, as we take a look at the sway bar, it does not come equipped with the front sway bar disconnect mechanism. So why not include it in the TRD off-road 4Runner? Toyota, come on. But overall, underneath, it's fairly easy. The bell housing bolts around the transmission is very easy to get to. So dropping a transmission on one of these would be a piece of cake. The traditional 4-piston calipers, Toyota's been using these calipers for a while, very reliable. At higher mileage, they tend to stick when you're trying to do a brake job. Transfer case actuator comes equipped with the electronic one. And the good news is you don't have to split your transfer case anymore to change out the transfer case actuator. Here you have your drain plug just in case you want to do some maintenance on it, and the fill plug right above. So very DIY friendly. Transmission, same concept, overflow plug, and right above, you have your fill plug for your transmission. Here's something else that's similar with the Toyota Tacoma. The gas tank is located on the passenger side while the filler neck is on the driver. Normally, with Toyota vehicles, the gas tank would be on the same side as the filler neck. The rear differential is very easy to do your own maintenance. You got the fill plug and you have the drain plug right here at the bottom. As far as the truck goes, the rear suspension, everything about it underneath is really top notch. Now that I share my thoughts with you guys, you've seen the ins and the outs. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this 4Runner worth $57,000? Now, I'll share with you, the only problem that I have is I think it looks too similar with the Toyota Tacoma, with the Sequoia, and the Tundra. Between the front end and the interior and the dash layouts, I just think it looks too similar. The previous generations, at least you could see some differences between the Tacoma and the 4Runner and the Sequoia. But now, these four lineups, they look too similar. Now, the big question is, will this new generation 4Runner, will it be as reliable as the previous generation? Because I got to tell you, with the previous generation, it was number one on the top car you can buy in the Toyota lineup. All you see is very basic maintenance, couple service here and there. But I got to be honest, in my years of being a mechanic with Toyota, I've never seen an engine being pulled out of the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. So like I said, only time will tell. I hope you guys found this video informative, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.